me of being on a heroin because I called you on a heroin, and again, like, because I didn't know what the difference between there's no fucking Google, okay? Like, there was no Google, okay? There was no YouTube. There was no real place that I can even know that speed is the tweakster methamphetamines or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even fucking pronounce this shit. I'm fucking trying to figure it out, okay? Tweakster dex methamphetamines or fucking something. I mean, I'd have to sit and read it slowly, syllable by syllable. Okay, I thought it was the heroin. Okay, when we were sitting in there, the first night we were sitting at the end of the parking lot. Not parking lot. Booger, Mitri. We were sitting in this first week of your mother and I's time with each other. Okay? 2 nights in a row, or maybe was it 2 or 3? It was like after a week or so. I'm really trying to remember the time frame because I didn't read it. Okay, it was something that I had to like see. You know, these were events. I'd get off of work, right? I was working at EA at the time, and I come flying down not flying down, but I come down through fucking traffic. Okay. As far as the freeway went, I'd go from like one freeway through the other. I mean, like you guys were at the furthest part that you could get from the fucking bay, the butt crack of the bay, basically. You know what I mean? And so to get there took me like an hour of fucking like Mad Max, you know, fucking road warrior bullshit to get there. Okay, and it's just like I get all the way down there for the night. She was still living with her parents. Okay, again, some other man paying her fucking way. You know. Mr. Webb himself, you know, that dude, Mr. Webb, my good sir, and we're talking in code names here. You are the biggest cuck on this earth. Do you know what a cuck is, Mr. Webb? Mr. Mason himself. Do you know what a simp is? A cuck? You are the biggest bitch on the planet, dude. Don't ever try and run a fucking book on me, pal. You can go fuck yourself to fucking Friday. But anyway. Mr. Webb was the reason why I decided that I was going to have to make a decision of what I was going to do with my son's mother. Because he used to run books, you know what I mean? Financial books. Like, he had a bunch of kids, so basically he had a shit fucking marriage, and he's a fucking asshole. You know, he's an authoritarian, thinks he's the fucking biggest shit because he's a big fat fuck, and he thinks he's like a lumberjack and a fucking Freemason and shit like that, dude. You know, it's, you know, you keep saying that you're fucking better than each other and shit like that, but again, you couldn't exist without a society to support you on the back end. You can't make anything. You can just sit there and try and look like you're an authoritative source. Okay? Knock a foot off your height. You're just some schmo. If you weren't genetically height, okay, like your physical height and stature got you your positions and your acceptance in places that you've gone, dude. Okay? So don't think that you're some big shit. Your decision-making skills are piss poor, dude. Okay? You got grifted by a two-time grifter. Okay? If it was the first one, like your first wife, that could be understandable. But with your first wife, and you sat there and bought a bunch of cars for your first fucking kids. I'm sorry that I'm bringing about the subject like it, but if we're going to give a testimonial here, you went and bought a bunch of cars for Geo Storm and then a Geo Tracker or Metro or the Jeep Suzuki type of fucking thing, and some other fucking Bronco, a Ford Bronco, Eddie Bauer fucking shit, and you got all these cars sitting on your fucking lot, right? And then I sit there and say, okay, well, you should, handle that shit. And all of a sudden, like, next thing you know, my son's mother wants to go and pick up one of these cars. You offer her one of your like little shitmobiles. Take your pick, because you're trying to fucking like take care of your finances and make the payments on shit that you don't want to pay for a car because you wanted to buy a new car for your blood daughter, not for the other ones. And so since the fucking wrinkle, so you've got 3 cars that at least came onto my lot, 4 for the other one for Durbin's for Durbans, okay, the little Fiat, the Spider, all right. So I had a fucking 1600 Fiat Spider, or was it 16 or 2002? I think it was a 1600 or a 2002. Little Fiat Spider. I had the fucking Eddie Bauer fucking Bronco. We had the goddamn Geo fucking Tracker, sitting on my fucking, all sitting on my fucking driveway. You pawned those off onto me, dude. Telling, like sitting there, and she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna give her this car, and she's going to, you have to make the payments on them. I said, well, then if she's got to make payments on them, don't give it to her. Okay, you're going to give her a car, give her a fucking car. You're going to cover the insurance, right? Don't expect me to do that. If you want me to cover her insurance, well, I could think about it, okay? But, I mean, like, I make some money, I can do that. But then he gave these cars over to me to try and push those books onto me. The fuck I want a Geo Tracker for? I'm into Porsches and Volkswagens, man. I know every nut and bolt on a fucking Volkswagen. Okay, I turn these little cars right here. Okay, you take out this 1600, you bore it out to a 2275, you get 685 brake horsepower, 395 brake horsepower straight to the axle. So what happens is if you replace the motor mounts, right? So you don't get the vulcanized rubber and you get solid metal mounts and you get a good stiff shifting column and steering column, then when you drop that engine in there and you drop in that clutch panel, the releases and that plate hits the fucking, the flywheel, oh my goodness, the thing, it pulls wheelies. So, 1442 quarter mile. First gear. Second gear. Third gear. Fourth gear. You understand? I used to make race cars out of little Volkswagens. Okay, and there was all these cars that I had to pick up for, we used to go to the Sacramento Speedway, once a year, actually twice a year, Memorial Day and Labor Day, and use the raceway. So we used to, do quarter miles and shit like that. It was a blast. It was always great. They used to call them Bugaramas. We used to call them, they were called Bugaramas. It was a blast. Everybody comes home from the day fucking completely swollen with allergies, dirt, dust up their nose, and sunburnt to fucking the next 4 months. It was always a blast. But, that's, you get to do shit like that when you go to school and you learn science. Not like, what's his name? That gremlin? Fauci? Okay? I don't know why people keep saying Fauci. There's no C. There's no C. It's a single C. C is it's a kappa, not a sigma. Okay. Again, people got to learn how to pronounce shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's Capernaum, not Sapernium. It's coffee, not Sophie. You know what I mean? It's because, not because, right? But people still say C like Caesar. Caesar? How, are you stupid? It's Kaiser. That's why it says Kaiser Wilhelm. Okay? Wilhelm. Wilhelm. Will guide the ship. A helm. Okay? Kaiser Wilhelm will lead. The leader. The great leader. Okay? Okay? A Caesar as a Kaiser. When they talk about, the woman who's in the White House that has, my name, used to be my slave, okay, became a slave owner herself, not me, but, we're talking bloodlines, okay, that's what they want to say. Well, how did they become slaves? Well, if you know your Latin, you can go read the original documents. You don't got to wait for, a 60-minute piece on fucking PBS or, the Discovery Learning Channel or television. You can just go read the manuscript. Okay? When Europeans went to, like Sierra Leone, Monrovia, Congo, that it was just, when the inner part of the bay there, there was a huge trading post where people from Nigeria, again, Nigeria, is Nigeria, okay, and it's not saying, like, people won't say the N-word. I hate saying things like that because you say that makes somebody else think the word and say it in their head, okay. Nigeria means land of people of no color. Black people. How can you say the N-word and say that you're a person of color? I mean, that's absolutely antithetical. That's the opposite meaning. White people are people of color. We are people of all color. And our skin hasn't been damaged, and we haven't inbred into a populace that has, carried on that characteristic, genetic trait, okay? Again, people kind of rewrite reality to whatever suits their need at that moment. That's kind of how communism, Marxists work, okay? They talk about slaves. Well, again, you, my son, are, I'm trying not to use a name right now because we're doing videos and it could end up on a YouTube, and if we do that, I don't want people getting, no one's going to watch 6-7 hours of this shit, and I'm going to have to cut it into 15-minute bits. Probably literally to the moment, find a, word stop. But, I'm going to have to go through and cut this all up if I'm going to get it. Because, again, in a week's time, I was planning on just walking away from my home and apartment, okay, because I'm going to have to spend all my rent money to go and get to you, to go and my intention was to go and land at the airport, and then I got to go and walk from the airport to another freeway, but there's no straight cut to it, okay, but I've got to go through MLK Drive and LaGuardia, dude, and so, or whatever, and so, I'm going to have to go through the shit ghettos of Gangsterland from the airport and walk down residential streets for probably, I don't know, maybe 8 miles there, and so the town that you live in, again, if you live directly across the street from a police officer, driveway to driveway, okay, well then I know exactly where you live, and I'm not going to your house. I'm never going to go straight to your house. That's not, in order for me to go to your home, you guys would have to invite me over. My goal, my intent, my destination was to hop on the trolley, or whatever they got, okay, and get out there. A trolley, I'm used to a trolley. When I was at Jason, I had to, or when I was down there, they had a trolley, you know what I mean? I was down in La Jolla, which is another thing. When I was in that car, I had to get a new girlfriend afterwards, because it's look, I'm going to basically, you killed my job at NASA. You killed my job at NASA. You called my job talking about needing fucking baby food in the middle of a day, calling me off the fucking project when I'm leading the fucking project. Okay? And you call me off saying you need baby food? This was the extent of our arguments. Is this so evil? This is evil, that you're going to take 20 years from my son, our chance to even bond, to even know each other, and to teach him anything, but because you don't want to fucking feel stupid. Ooh, well then fucking read a book. I mean, that's all you got to do. Learn a language and read shit in it. I talk about why I have a classical education, and you say, oh, you think you're so smart. Well, I am. You think I'm not? Well, if you do, it's because you're stupid. And stupid, I don't mean because you're dumb. You're very smart. Stupid, again, stolti means to, one who despises wisdom and learning. That's what stolti means. Student, okay, study, student, studio, okay, remember, our M, S, T, mus, tis, und, okay, I, you, he, she, it, we all, you all, they all, okay, studio, okay, as a student, means the many, okay, nt, und, okay, you all, we all, they all, okay, boom, that's students, okay, or again, root word and root word and inflection, it's just do you know what an inflection is? No, you don't, okay? The guy that you married right now probably does. He probably understands Latin because he's probably a Catholic. If he's Filipino, okay, probably a really nice guy. He's got to be, you obviously, chose him. You basically, the only reason I bring him up into this, bro, I got nothing against you. I'm not trying to talk shit against you, okay? But she used to rub you in my face because she just canceled what they would call today, canceled my career at NASA, and then wants to shove it in my face because she didn't win that final fucking argument.